And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, in today's video, of course, we're going to be discussing all the latest Liverpool news, the headlines from the last 24 hours. That of course includes today's title of the video and why Liverpool fans are fuming after a recent reveal, with fans branding it a disgrace. We'll get to that in today's video, but we're also going over a bit with regards to Thiago and a bit of transfer rumours. There is an interesting one ahead of the summer, so quite a few bits and pieces to go over. But of course, Liverpool back in action this weekend as we take on Burnley, looking to get back to winning ways, and a very good chance to go back to winning ways. Of course, we have all been digesting that defeat against Arsenal for a week now, and you know, sometimes it can just play on your mind until that next game comes around. And for Liverpool, for the first time in a long time, we've actually had to wait a week until our next match. So yeah, Burnley a very, very good chance, and I do fully expect us to get back to winning ways at Anfield this weekend, of course. But yeah, hoping for a response. Now on to a bit of news with regards to Thiago. The 32-year-old, of course, finally made his long-awaited comeback from injury in Sunday's 3-1 defeat to Arsenal, coming off the bench for 5 minutes. And whilst I've documented Thiago, I do think he's a fantastic player, quality player, and probably one of the best midfielders we've actually ever had. But the problem with him has never been doubting his quality. It's always been with regards to, can he stay fit for the season? And usually that question mark is, well, the answer to that question is no. However, according to reports, Thiago will not be short of options this summer, with the midfielder now expected to part Liverpool at the end of his current contract. The brief cameo, of course, at the weekend against Arsenal marked his first time on the pitch this season after a 10-month layoff that followed his hip surgery last April. The former Bayern Munich star had initially been expected to rejoin team training in pre-season, but a series of setbacks delayed his return for half of the 23-24 campaign. The latest layoff was one of just a number of injury issues Thiago was suffered in his 4-year spell at Anfield, while he has never featured in more than 25 league games in a season for the Reds. With his contract now in its final months, Thiago is permitted to discuss terms with foreign suitors ahead of a summer move, while there have been no indications that the La Masia graduate could be in line for an extension at Liverpool. Spanish outlet AS claimed that everything indicates that the playmaker will leave Merseyside this summer. However, there will be no shortage of suitors despite the history of fitness issues. The report does not name any clubs interested in Thiago. However, his former club Barcelona have been regularly mentioned. Turkey, Saudi Arabia and even Brazil have also been suggested as a possible next destination for Liverpool's number 6 in recent months. Last summer, we reported that the Reds were prepared to listen to offers for Thiago amid their extensive midfield rebuild. However, there were no suitable proposals forthcoming. It appears now we could all part of the club's next transition phase following Jurgen Klopp's out the exit at the end of the campaign. Thiago is among one of the highest earners on a reported £200,000 per week wage. Now, as I said, guys, I didn't come any surprise that Thiago won't be getting a new contract at the club, but as stated, AS are stating, of course, that there is going to be no shortage of shooters for his signature come the expiry of his contract. But as stated, I do think he can play a role, and I do think he could be a secret weapon, if you like, in Jurgen Klopp's Arsenal going into this next part of the campaign, if he does indeed stay fit. Now, in other news, and on to the main sort of headline of today's video, of course, guys, it is with regards to VAR. Yes. There has been a recent report come out due to ESPN, and they have revealed that there has been 20 VAR mistakes so far this season, and Liverpool lead the list for those VAR things going against them. So 20% of all VAR errors so far this season have been against Liverpool. That is an absolute disgrace. And considering Liverpool are still top of the league, there's obviously that one game against Spurs that everybody can see as to, well, you know, that was pivotal. That was, you know, 3 points taken away from Liverpool that day due to the decisions that went our way and the mistakes that were made in VAR. But having another 3 of those, you know, we should be clearing out of sight in this Premier League title race at this moment in time. And it just goes to show, you know, you put so much faith in these officials and they return you with that sort of disgrace. 20% of all VAR errors so far this season have come at the expense of Liverpool. Now, The Premier League chief, Tony Scholes, has explained a host of changes planned for the use of VAR, with 20 VAR errors already this season and as stated, 4 against Liverpool. Though it is accepted that too many checks are taking too long and that the 20 errors have already occurred this season, the Premier League are happy with the use of VAR. And as stated, according to ESPN, Liverpool are the worst affected by those errors with 4 of the total 20, putting them ahead of Brighton with 3, Wolves 3 and Arsenal with 2. 8 other clubs have been impacted by 1 error, meaning 9 are yet to feel the effects of what is widely viewed as a substandard officiating in this season's Premier League. The league chief football officer, Scholes, has argued that the level of refereeing is at least as good or better than it has ever been. It's critical that the match officials keep up with the quality and the advancement of the players and the coaches, Scholes agreed. Further improvement is always required. I know myself from my club background that one mistake can be incredibly costly to a club and can be incredibly costly to individuals. It's important that all of us at the league and in the refereeing organisation stay mindful of that and of the need to keep developing, keep improving so that we are in a world where no factual mistakes are at all made and subjective mistakes are minimised. The Premier League are planning a series of changes to improve the experience, including for fans in the stadium, which will see the appointment of a VAR specialist. Referees will soon be required to at least announce VAR decisions to those in attendance, which is marked improvement on the confusion of following from afar and via big screens display vague messages. Tests are also ongoing for implementation of semi-automated offside calls, with clubs likely to vote on whether it will be brought in during the spring meeting. Scholes added, clearly everything in the world of VAR is not perfect. We are aware of that and we know that we've got work to do. We're doing too many checks, we're taking too long in doing them all. It's to a degree understandable given the level of scrutiny these guys are under, but the reviews are taking too long and it's affecting the flow of game, and we're extremely aware of that and the need to improve the speed whilst also maintaining the accuracy. So again, coming out here, VAR making those changes, but the thing that Liverpool fans can't quite get their head over, and something that's unforgivable almost, is those 4 mistakes. 20% of all VAR errors have come at Liverpool's expense, which is absolute disgrace. Thinking about it, and said, there's a reason why Jurgen Klopp doesn't really like the officials in this country. And as I said, could be clear out of sight at the top of the Premier League table if those VAR mistakes hadn't been made. But at least the Premier League are looking to try and minimise them and try and make changes and bring in a VAR specialist. I'm all welcome to the idea of changing and adapting and evolving with regards to the technology. But hopefully that's something that we can see happen sooner rather than later. Now, with regards to transfer news, yes, I know I do keeping on about. I know we're just into February, and I know the future of the football club is currently unknown with regards to who's going to be at the helm, director of football and all that sort of stuff. However, we're always looking to try and improve our youth area or youth team, and something that's usually taken away and taken out of the manager's hands as such is usually down to the academy. And as stated, there are people in positions that are going to be ongoing recruiting. And reports have stated that Liverpool hope to sign record-breaking midfielder Chris Rigg. The teenager is in a huge demand across Europe right now, and the Sunderland Echo reports that Liverpool are among the clubs hoping to sign Chris Rigg this summer. Rigg's still only 16, but has now featured in 11 professional games for Sunderland. And not only that, but the teenager has broken multiple records. He's Sunderland's all-time youngest goalscorer, as well as the youngest goalscorer in the history of the EFL Cup. The fact he's a midfielder and not a striker only makes that a lot more remarkable. But that kind of ability at 16 naturally draws interest from elsewhere. Liverpool are hoping to sign Rigg alongside the likes of Manchester City, Chelsea, Man U and Bayern Munich. It's not exactly clear what Rigg wants to do though. His scholarship with Sunderland ends this summer, and he's free to join whoever he likes, with a new club merely needing to pay a tribunal fee to get him. There's suggestion, however, that Rigg may view regular football at Sunderland as more valuable than youth football at an elite club. It means that despite all the interest, the 16-year-old may opt to remain where he is. It's absolutely a massive decision for him. Then Rigg can't exactly make or break his career with the choice, and there will be just as much interest in him next year, but he does have the opportunity here that few teenagers get. Liverpool have signed plenty of players like this down the years. Most notable right now is Harvey Elliott, who played senior football at Fulham, while while he was 16 and moved to Anfield via a tribunal. This would be a very similar deal. Then the fact that Elliot has since made it to the Liverpool first team is a bonus in that regard. It's very easy for Rig to see the pathway. That's interesting. I'm always open to the club bolstering those youth ranks, and that's been stated. We're starting to see players, a lot of young players, come through so far this season. And, it's clear as day. And we've got to keep loading the conveyor belt, if you like, and this is where Liverpool have been doing really well over the last couple of years. So I'm all for that. I don't know too much about Chris Rigg, unfortunately, but as stated, 11 senior appearances so far this season, well watched, youngest ever goal scorer in Sunderland's history, youngest goal scorer in the EFL Cup. That's pretty remarkable for a midfielder, so fair play to him, and I'd be more than happy to see him come through the door at some level, especially on a tribunal, especially on a small fee. But Liverpool fans, that's all I've really got for you today. Do let me know your thoughts with regards to the absolute disgrace that is VAR so far this season, and also let me know your thoughts with regards to Thiago. Do you think he'll make an impact this season? Yes or no? Again, in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Push.